people so that they go, wait a minute, this must be a special occasion. He remembered to hit record, and we're not 5 minutes late.
Yay!
Yay! Good stuff. Yes, many things, Dave, has not changed. It's like, geez, oh, Pete, yes, we still have a love with Google. They threw a monkey wrench in Hangouts about 3 weeks ago, where I would get it would go to start up, and it would say, you go to start the Hangout, and it would say, oops, and then it would say something like, your event cannot be found or has been deleted.
Oh,
so that kind of threw me for a loop for a little bit.
I'm guessing it wasn't found.
and the trick was, to make it work right, is I had to refresh the screen, and it worked. Everything else came up. So, yeah, always, it's like
always something.
Maker!
It's not me. I don't work on social.
I know, but it's fun. You're the closest one within reach.
This is true. Actually, that's not true. There are people closer than me.
Oh, are there?
We do have a really small office in Chapel Hill.
Oh, do you? Oh,
yes.
That's cool. Awesome. All right, so we are live. Hey, folks, welcome. Surprise! We actually started on time today, and I remembered to hit record. So this is a momentous occasion, and Amy's giving me a look of, I don't know what's going on.
There's confusion.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's puzzlement.
So is there an issue, Miss Amy?
Yeah.
What?
My chat room was not doing right.
I love when you talk technical.
I know.
It's hot.
Jeez. No, it's not scrolling up.
Oh, okay.
I saw words here that were not over here.
Oh, there's probably a little delay or something. Is it?
No, I had to refresh.
I'm gonna leave it right there.
I did the what every IT person tells you to do.
Hit reset button.
Either refresh or have you
turn it off and on again.
Yeah.
Turn
Have
it
you?
off and on.
Yeah.
Always.
I didn't figure you wanted me to do that, so.
No, I would have said hit refresh and gone there. That's good.
Yeah. So I just.
You are getting so technically savvy.
I deal with enough IT people.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I said. You mean those vampiric type individuals that cannot go out into
I'll
this
only deal
directly.
with good IT people. So,
there you go.
You know.
Oh yeah, well it's like anything else. You've got the good ones and you've got the evil ones.
Yeah, the evil ones got at work. They got sent a bill for our department.
Right.
Which is a long story, but I really dislike this company right now. They sent the bill to the help desk.
Well, of course they did.
Because that's appropriate.
And all they can do is read the script and say, I am sorry.
Well, they didn't send the bill to me.
So they sent it to the help desk.
They sent it to the help desk instead, and instead of being helpful, which is what their name implies,
they were confused.
They just apparently deleted it.
Help desk is an honorary title in most places.
Yes.
Yes, they are the anti-help desk. So.
Yeah, it's like when you have your 3-year-old and they're helping to clean up.
Yeah.
Yes, like the cats when they try to help sweep by plopping in the middle of the pile.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Too much fun. So, hey, folks, welcome. GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast, episode 100. But we're in the pre-show right now, and we've got a special guest. You may remember him from, years and decades ago. We've got Mr. Dave Debaere on with us as our special guest tonight because he helped found the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast back when we were just using 2 cans and a string.
It's a very nice string, though.
Yeah, well, we had to borrow the string. It was really a shoelace, but we couldn't tell anybody. Which explains the quality of the audio. So that's how that worked.
I bought shoestrings yesterday.
Did you? Oh, well, thank you, honey.
Squirrel.
Good stuff.
Y'all are so happy I'm here.
Yeah. That is so cool. Dave, do you got the ability to record?
I can create the ability to record. Would you like a local recording?
Yes. He is so powerful. Yes. He has the ability.
Ooh, Static J's here.
Awesome.
Static J.
It's like in the wee hours of the morning for
I
him.
am thoroughly convinced there are about 25 or so geocachers that run the circuit. They run the circuit of all the different podcasts. And I love
him,
it.
man. Not him. He sticks to the ones that are like in the waking hours for him.
Uh-huh. Well, that is true. He's in Ireland.
He's got the baby.
Yes, and the baby.
Ireland.
Ireland, yes. Near Belfast. We learned so many cool things from him.
Northern Ireland.
Yes, we did I'm surprised I would not have known that. Thank you. We did the hangout not too long ago. Last Saturday, matter of fact, I think it was. And Static J's got some really great stories.
And a really cute baby.
And a real cute baby. And she is adorable. And we're going to have to take pictures from each of the hangouts as she grows.
Yes.
Because she's been on every one that she's been around. So it's like, yes. That's awesome.
Excellent.
All right, you can just hit record whenever, Dave, and just let her run.
I have recorded. There is recordings going on.
Awesome.
Speaking, there was a sound check, yada, yada, yada. Lines are going up and down. Things are going this way and that way.
That's good. I love it when it does that.
Nothing looks like it's maxing out. Perfect.
Yes. So tell us about your I want to know, how you work this out, and it's got to be work-related. That you have traveled 5/5 of the globe, which is actually all of it if you really add it up. But you have been all over the entire globe. And
wow, your math.
He's a math
genius.
genius.
Don't even get me started.
He is a genius, isn't he?
He is a legend in his own mind. But you've been all over the place.
I've been some places.
A couple.
He's been to Jersey. I mean,
I've been to Jersey and North Jersey. Let's see here. I just got back from California, which is a work trip. But I spent some time hiking in the redwoods and checking out Santa Cruz while I was there.
Awesome.
My boss's boss's boss, admin, is a geocacher, so we like to go out geocaching together when I go to California. Yeah, and Puerto Rico, I was there 1st of December-ish, also for work, because work.
Because you gotta.
That's how Google rolls.
Yeah.
That was a team building off-site type deal. So.
Yeah, I saw the beach pictures. I saw the beach.
I'm not saying it was a hard trip. I'm just saying there were coworkers there.
Yeah, he's roughing it. The waves are rolling. The feet are kicked up.
That's cool, though.
Oh, that's man. Cool. So, good geocaching adventures?
Yeah, I'm actually in Puerto Rico. One of the trips I took was hiking in a rainforest, the El Yunque rainforest, and really beautiful area, some great caching. But one of the the highlights was way back when I was first married and went on my honeymoon. We took a cruise to several Caribbean islands. And one of the Caribbean islands was Puerto Rico. And when me and my wife took a shore activity, we went hiking in the rainforest, and we went to this nice pool area, like a natural lagoonish type thing, kind of up in the mountains. Lagoon's not really the right word, but a nice pond with a lot of old stonework around it. Kind of a really nice area. And I wasn't a geocacher then, but during this trip, I went to actually go back to that exact spot and, of course, found a geocache. So that was kind of cool.
That is cool.
That is cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I only hit Puerto Rico and the one Caribbean cruise that I ever was on, and that was the jump-off point. Was going from there on to the islands, and it's like, oh yeah. So I didn't, and that was before I was geocaching too.
Yeah, and Puerto Rico is considered a country by Groundspeak. So I got a new country icon.
Oh, you dog you.
Just even though it's a U.S.
Providence or whatever
thing, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Territory type deal, but
yeah, we call it a thing. Wow, he gets Canada and Puerto Rico.
He's from Canada.
Well, details. I'm just saying. I got to get over to Windsor.
I also have. You should go over to Windsor tonight. Well, don't go to Windsor.
Yeah, I was going to say. It's
actually literally the closest place to us in Canada is Niagara Falls. So I would highly recommend going there. And there's some great caches there. Yeah, and there's my wife will tell me what the exact name of the place is, but there's a right at the falls. There's a visitor center, like a tourist area and a visitor center, and there's this nice little walkway that you can walk out on and actually see the falls right there. And there's an earth cache right there. So,
oh, awesome! Is that the one you got to go out wearing the raincoats and all the rest of it because the falls are coming on?
No, there are some of things like that. There's like I think Maid of the Mist. I think it only runs from the U.S. side now. That's the boat that actually goes to the base of the falls, and you get wet. It's almost always raining there. Like a little bit, kind of like little pop-up showers, because there's so much mist coming from the falls.
Oh yeah.
That
Sure.
You're almost guaranteed if you stay there long enough, you're going to get a little bit of drip.
Yeah.
Usually not much more than wear a hat, you're fine. But you always get a little bit of spray. But it's a great place, and there's a Tim Hortons right there. And if you're an American standing at that place, you can get signal from the States, so you don't have roaming charges, which save me.
Oh, there you go.
So
Table Rock.
Cable Rock, that's the one. Thank you, sweetie.
Yeah, it's Culture Mom's in the chat room.
Yes, she
Hi,
is.
Culture Mom. That's awesome.
If you're going to Canada, that's the place to go, because don't go to Windsor. It's a nice town, but you have to go through Detroit, which is not a nice town.
Well, see, that's where I'm from, so that's what I'm used to. I'm used to going over the Ambassador Bridge, or you can go out to Port Huron and go over to Blue Water Bridge and go into cornfields that way.
Ooh, cornfields.
Yes, and go. But yeah, Sarnia is a little different, or Windsor, I should say, mainly because of the strip clubs you've heard about over the bridge. Anyways, that's how those go. You gotta make a living. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
As she looks at me. Anyways, so yeah, actually,
people don't need.
The Niagara Falls, I heard it's pretty much solid tourist now.
Yes. There is a fairly built-up tourist area. It's not actually that big, but it's very and it's the area is called Clifton Hill, and it has a lot of I'm not sure exactly what you call it, but it almost reminds me of a very, very short version of like the Las Vegas Strip, where there are a couple of casinos, but it's mostly like weird, interesting stores, and it's stupid expensive. And if you want to go to the falls, you can. It's a bit expensive because the parking's it's like $20 for parking, but it's also a natural one of the world. But if you go a few minutes outside of town, there's a lot of still natural beauty, and you're avoiding a lot of the tourist traps. Yeah,
because I think the last time I actually went to Niagara Falls, I was probably about 8 or 9. And my folks, there was a family trip, so my 2 brothers, my sister, and I, and my parents went. And all I remember was the whirlpool, and I'm thinking, oh, cool, whirlpool. It's not what you think.
No.
And, it's one stick in the center of this area just kind of doing a little spin thing.
It is a huge whirlpool, but it's not overly dramatic.
Yeah, it's not like Mythbusters whirlpools.
No. But the Niagara Falls, at least during the summer, has a fair amount of fireworks.
Yeah.
I think once a week they have fireworks at the falls, and a bit more often during like the Canada Day and the U.S. Independence Day celebrations.
Do they still shine the colored lights at night on the falls?
I believe they do, yes.
Yeah,
it's been a while since I've been there, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
That's awesome. So Puerto Rico, anything interesting besides your encounter spot?
Puerto Rico. Well, that whole trip was kind of cool. I also went to Arecibo, which, if you are not aware, is the giant radio telescope. It was in one of the James Bond movies, and if you've ever seen Contact, that's where they started doing the SETI stuff. It's it's basically if listeners are not familiar with it, it's a giant radio telescope. Basically looks like a gigantic satellite dish with a kind of like a house in the middle of it, sitting way up top where the antenna would be. That's like 6 or 7 stories tall, and the dish itself is, I forget exactly how big it is, but it calculated that you could hide 4 geocaches underneath it and still be within the guidelines. It's
my gosh!
It's something like 500 feet across, or like more than that, like 500 meters maybe across. Yeah. It's massive. It's a thing to see.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, isn't that that's pretty jungle-ish there, isn't it? What do you have to worry about in Puerto Rico?
As a tourist, nothing really. There is like a bit of malaria and some other things.
Oh, they got
it's kind of rare.
Malaria.
I think the travel board recommends a couple. I think it's Hep B and malaria shots, and I think dengue fever comes to mind, but don't quote me on that one.
But I know you have that in Honduras.
But it's not, if you're going there as a tourist and you're doing the touristy things, then it's not really an issue. It's when you kind of go way off the beaten track and, start drinking water out of some, faucet in some random restaurant in the back end of nowhere that you really have to worry.
Well, so the dinosaurs still can roam and come around after you,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, one of our coworkers is actually from Puerto Rico, and his response to all that was basically, it's not really an issue. If you're just going there to be a tourist, it's not really anything you have to worry about.
That's awesome. That is cool. So yeah, you've actually done quite a few exotic things, and your pictures were awesome on the blog.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yes.
I upgraded my camera too, so the more recent pictures should be better, hopefully.
So you like your new camera? I
do actually. It's the first time I've actually had a full, proper, big camera with like telephoto lenses. And, instead of the little point and shoots. So it's a learning curve. So I still haven't quite mastered it yet. But the potential for taking shots is like far beyond what my point and shoot can do. So.
Oh yeah. You can't beat a glass lens.
Cool.
No, it's
It's good stuff. That's cool. Next on my list.
Actually, Salty CA in the chat room is just saying he checked the Niagara Falls webcam and the colored lights are on. So.
Awesome. See, I remember it as a kid with them being on.
Yeah. Well, he said fast, but that's only because he didn't have L's on his keyboard.
Yes. That's funny. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he doesn't
have L's.
No, he's at every time we do a question or something, especially when we do an email race to give away free prizes, and we try to avoid words that have L's in it just so it doesn't bog them down.
I had my Shift R go out on me yesterday.
Did you really?
Yeah, I don't know. Shift, anything else works. Lowercase r works. But with the left shift and R, it will not go, but the right shift and R will.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I just need to upgrade my keyboard, that's all. So, sweetie, I'm buying a keyboard.
Give it a good spray.
Nah, new keyboard.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got always a better excuse to get a...
I need the excuse.
Honey, I don't understand what happened to it.
Hammer down.
Yes. Suddenly the keys just went off. I don't understand.
Exactly.
Jeez. Cool stuff. So yeah, good stuff. Geocaching, you have been everywhere.
I've been some places.
A lot of according to Facebook, I think you're gonna have your own channel there pretty soon.
I like to travel.
That's awesome.
Yeah, actually, the last couple of months I've only been to those real 2 places, but over the year I've I like to Geo Woodstock and going caching in Georgia. I like to travel.
It's awesome.
It's a big world, interesting world. It's nice to see it.
Yeah, yep, it's good stuff. You might as well do it while you can. It's just get out there, and geocaching is just an extra benefit for it.
Yeah.
Yep. So. Good tour guide.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially in those areas where it's like, really, there's a geocache here.
Salty wants to see your watch.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, new watch.
Toys.
Ooh.
So this is the Zen watch. That here, I'll do this so you can actually see it.
Take it off.
We found out that CGO actually works on this guy.
I've heard that. Have you tried it out?
And yeah, matter of fact, we're going to go out this weekend, and what I'm going to do, and Scott Burks asked for particular requirements for it. So what he wants me to do is to go out and make sure it's 100%, and then just go geocaching and see how long time-wise it lasts.
Okay. So, like a big battery test. So you're going to go caching all day. That's a great way to go. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry, honey. I'm not. I got it. It's geocaching. It's a test.
Exactly.
I got to be caching all day.
We have responsibilities to our viewers and listeners too.
I can't help clean the house. I can't do the laundry. I got to go geocaching all day.
No, I'll get it later when it's dark out.
It's a service to the community.
It is. Of course, she comes along with me, so it's not like it's going to be really,
This is true.
I can only get so far with that. And then she says, go do the laundry. So it's all right.
Yes. Like, it's getting late. You still have laundry to do.
Oh, look at that.
Look at the time.
As I get distracted by what
Do you know if CGO works on other watches, or is it just that particular model?
It's any watch that runs Google Wear. You might have heard of this.
I've heard of it. Actually, I have a LG watch.
Yeah.
I don't use it much, but now that I know CGO works on it, it kind of ups the game a bit.
Basically, what you have to do, and boys and girls, if you want to learn how to do this, be sure to contact us, and we'll give you step-by-step directions.
Later.
Yeah, not during the show. It's
Please.
Bad form. But anyways, what you do is you go in CGO, and there is a you have to download from the Play Store a Google Wear. It's kind of like an add-on that goes onto your phone, and then when CGO recognizes that that's on, it opens up an option that says different ways of doing navigation, and you can do your maps or whatever you have in there. But one of the options is to use Google Wear, so you click that on, and when you bring up your geocache and you go to click navigate, your Google Wear watch now becomes one of the options, and what'll happen is you'll click on that on your phone, and it'll Bluetooth to your watch, and you'll literally get an arrow, which I heard, according to Taz, who went out trying it a couple days ago, isn't the best going that way. The distance works okay. You get the name of the cache, that kind of fun stuff, but the arrow, I think, is still a little questionable about how that goes. But it was enough that he could find a geocache.
Oh, excellent. That sounds kind of fun.
I'm going to take out, we'll do a vlog with it and see how long it lasts.
Well, I'm going to charge my phone now, or my watch.
And Dave, your wife has requested you bring the laundry up when you come.
Really?
See, that's how this works. Interactive communication.
Well, me and my wife have a kind of a unspoken agreement, whereas she doesn't like doing the laundry, and I don't like folding. So I tend to do a lot of the washing, and then she folds them, and then sanity is restored, and our marriage is, maintained.
Yeah, blasted, happy, and blissful. I like that.
Awesome.
That's good. Yeah, unfortunately, Amy's not a big fan of laundry either, and I still fold. So,
True. All is happy.
I'm banned from folding because I'm really, really bad at it.
I tried that technique, but then I had her try too.
Yes, one of the secrets to happiness is failing with enthusiasm.
Exactly. Look, honey, I can't do this.
But I want to. I'm going to do it again.
Dad, I feel terrible. I can't do this as good as you, honey. It works well. But yeah, good stuff. What's that?
Taz wants the alien.
I don't know where he is.
I see the Star Wars pig helmet. I see the rainbow hair.
Yeah, I kind of like the rainbow hair.
Yeah, and there's a Lego X-Wing fighter.
Oh, awesome.
Range.
There we go. I saw the Lego Millennium Falcon. Awesome.
I want that too.
Awesome.
But I have to wait till next Christmas, apparently.
Oh, apparently your X-Wing's got some bent features that are not in the standard model. That is cool.
And it comes with Porkins, which is awesome.
Really?
Yes, I have a Porkins minifig. It's the best thing ever.
He basically became a smear mark on this.
He did, but
he's commemorated.
He is. He's there for all time. Of course, until it blew up and burned away.
Wow.
It's a metaphor for life.
Yeah, or death, or both. Either way, I guess that's how you look at it.
My desk is way too messy.
Oh, I see an M&M back there, too.
Yeah.
I can't reach him.
No, he's far away.
I'm tethered. I do have this guy, which is a different alien.
Oh, hang on, let me click over here. There we go.
This guy is from the second travel bug race that I did, where I mailed these guys out to various cachers around the world.
That's right.
The first time the winner was from Australia, and this time the winner was from Ontario.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You never know where they're going to go.
No, I've been dying to try to do that myself, kind of do a travel bug race and see if we can get a bunch of our people out there to do it. We shall see.
You could just have all your listeners just, wherever they are, drop one in and then...
See what happens?
Yeah, so try to get to your, pick a cache that's closest to you, and first one that hits it wins.
Cool.
Ooh, we could put him in the one in our yard.
There we go. Yeah, we're planning on putting one actually in our yard, especially when I found out there is an actual attribute out there that says that this geocache is actually in your yard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I never knew existed.
Which would create more traffic on our road.
Oh, that's a whole other subject. We actually rent where we're at right now, and Amy starts up this communication thing. She said, "Wouldn't it be great to see if we can get some of our neighbors involved in this chat?"
Well, it's this thing called Nextdoor,
right?
And all it does is just gets everybody talking. And if you have this ability, like you teach piano, you can put something out there that says, "I teach piano. If you're interested in learning," or whatever.
It's the old sticky note kind of forum thing.
But it's just electronic. Right. Well, apparently,
there has been a deep mustering hatred within our neighborhood.
Yes, feels that our roads have been quote-unquote orphaned. And nobody is taking care of our neighborhood roads. And this has been a point of contention for her for 2.5 years. She's been researching this. She has there are literally... Somebody has made signs, virtual signs, that says our roads have been orphaned by, and lists this guy's name, the developer's name.
Yeah, so they got, the long story short, they got about 8 people together.
8 out of 135 houses.
And once the pitchforks and the flaming torches started coming out, we realized the intensity of the need to have our roads fixed. And we walk on them each day, and it's like, yeah, there's a couple of good-sized potholes that could be fixed.
Yeah, in front of this woman's house.
Yeah, well, you know. So needless to say, communication is an interesting thing that just goes into heated fervor, I think, is a good way of putting it.
Fun.
Yes. So now I'm kind of regretting that I even started all of this.
Yes. Communication.
That's what happens when you get social, right, sweetie?
Exactly.
Well, my intent was good, and it's kind of like, you want to get everybody together and have little barbecues and get together and talk and have a good time.
Well, no, it's much more fun to bring out hate and discontent if you've got it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Apparently so. This lady's like...
Yes. Lots of fun. All right, folks, we got about 3 minutes before we're going to start the show. We've got our special guest, Dave Debaere, on. And, Dave's going to be on for about half of the show coming up. He's going to be going over to GeoGearheads and talk with Daryl W4 and the Bad Cop. And, yes, Mr. Mark Downing's going to be over there, too.
Actually, he's not. He had to step away, but the GC Doc will be there as well.
Oh,
GC Doc's going to be there. Okay, that's cool. So, yeah, the fun will be had by all across the board. Part of the fun. So, good stuff. All right, I'm trying to see anything else we've got going here. I think we're all pretty much set. All right. Just come up here. All right, about 2 more minutes. Man, that was great.
That was great?
That was great. It's good to have Dave on to be able to talk about stuff like this.
Yeah.
Behind-the-scenes things.
Yeah, he goes more places than we do.
Getting into everything, too. Holy smokes.
My kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing crazy things.
Man.
And Abigail's talking up a storm. You can't understand her. I mean, just my daughter's 2.5, so she has the 2.5-year-old, toddler voice. So sometimes it doesn't all clear, but she'll, you'll say, would you like some water? And then 4 minutes later of talking, Yes. As you explain the whole history of everything going on with water in your life.
Oh man. Yeah, I tell you though, but it's that first time where you get the "I love you, Daddy."
Yeah.
And then it's over. Here's the credit card.
No. You got to earn that credit card. Cash though, it's.
Cash is good.
I already have pictures of her taking ones out of my wallet.
As he's holding the wallet open.
Yes.
You know.
No, I remember Amanda at age 2, where we would be in a department store, and she's rifling clothes, doing one of these numbers, going through the. I'm like, oh, I am in so much trouble.
Uh-huh.
And I am. So it came to fruition.
Well, she just got her driver's license.
Just got her driver's license, and
she's got the paper.
Yeah, she's got the little
they get now.
temporary.
Yeah, the 20-day. And I had to remind her to stick it in her wallet.
Yes.
To take it with her, because if she drives, if she doesn't have it with her, she's driving without a license.
Right.
So whatever's left, Dave, see, you still have a little bit of brown left in your beard. This will be going stone cold Santa white.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty much toast.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mr. Dave has a schedule to keep, and it is 8:30. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed the pre-show, and we will be starting on the Geocaching Podcast.
We have no more picture.
No, I'm just moving this over here so I can see it. And we will be moving over to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. I'm kind of curious to see if this picture even works. All right. Kind of does. That's the old logo of way back when.
It does kind of look oldish.
It's
vintage. It is vintage.
Is that what it is?
Yes,
Can it be
vintage.
If it's like 100th episode, that's thinking ahead.
Yeah, there you go. One day.
He's like, we're gonna make it.
We'll be in triple digits.
We're gonna make it after all.
Oh, yeah. And that's why we started the rock band. All right.
Oh God.
It was in the 70s, and the hair was, or was it the 80s? Never mind. Okay. Let's move on. Let's do this thing. The GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Welcome to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. Look how we made it! Yeah. Now I'm channeling Barry Manilow. I have no idea why.
You cannot have more than one celebrity in the show.
I'm sorry, and we have one already.
Yes.
And he is awesome. He is my brother from another mother. Hey. He is the one, the only, Dave Debaere. Dave, how you doing, sir?
I am doing really, really well. It's good to be back here.
Oh, man, it is so great to have you back. And we've had people constantly saying when we were coming and talking about the 100th episode, they kept saying, Dave's going to be here, right? We're going to have him. We almost didn't get this gentleman here with us.
No.
Yeah, because he was already booked.
He is very popular.
Now, there were certain actors and actresses way back when on the Love Boat.
Oh my gosh, I used to love that show.
And they would go through, and they would circle and cycle through the shows. You know, they would go through and do Fantasy Island. Oh man, it's singing night. This will be bad. See?
Yeah.
I'm back to Fantasy Island. The plane. So that's how that went. Anyways, these guests would constantly circle through this. And Dave, I think, has hit every show. Right up to you name it. I mean, you have been everywhere.
That's a show.
It could be.
It should be. It could be a new show.
Copyright HeadHardHat.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
All right.
Good stuff. But yeah, you've been all over the place, man. And we almost couldn't get him on tonight because he was already pre-booked. because he's going to be moving over in about a half hour to the Geo Gearheads, who, for some reason, also do a live show. I don't understand where they get this from. But, you know, Daryl W4, the bad cop, and they've got about, 700 guests coming over tonight.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's how it is.
It's rough being Dave.
Yeah, it's rough. I'm trying to put that with it's not easy being green, but that's how that goes. Jeez, oh, Pete. So, yeah, Dave, awesome having you on, man. This is great. Let's see, just to get some of the formalities out of the way, it is February 5th, 2015, and in the next hour or so, both co-host wife Amy and Dave Debaere will bring you some interesting information and tidbits about the game, the sport, and yes, the obsession known as geocaching. And we are going to be running down memory lane tonight, because we have got some interesting tidbits to go over with all this. Matter of fact, we'll start with the first GeoSnippits fact tonight, which I thought was kind of interesting. Because
you and I talked about this.
We did, and people bring this up. The first rendition of Hello, it was actually Hello, 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 is what we did. We actually kind of started it with episode 1. But it didn't really kind of go into fruition until about episode 22.
Because Amanda and I used to sit out in the living room and go, hello, hello, hello.
Mocking us. Mocking us, David.
I know. I get it too.
Yes.
And we'd laugh.
And they'd laugh, and we'd wonder, what are they laughing at?
They're just jealous.
They are.
Yeah, we were jealous.
Yes, and if you are curious, the actual... with the hello, hello, hello kind of morphed into, well, hello! And that was actually episode 55 that the first Miss Doubtfire hello went into effect, and it's been going on ever since.
And who mentioned it to you?
And you actually mentioned it.
Yes.
You are so cool.
I am.
Yes. Paid for by the Amy is My Wife committee. Just saying.
Checks in the mail.
Thank you. Baby, that one was cast a long time ago. Man, oh man, oh man. All right, so the people in the chat room, and we got a ton tonight. That is awesome. What we did last week in episode 99, we did the HeadHardHat's geocaching quiz number 2. And like we did with the first one, all we asked for you to do is to send us your scores. Kind of let us know what you thought about the quiz, and send us your score. And a ton of you sent them in. Matter of fact, just because we got so much packed into tonight's show, we wanted to save some time. We actually chose the winner earlier today. And Miss Amy, why don't we tell one what the prize is, and then we will go from there. And
yes.
Yes.
Do you see how he does, Dave? He kind of keeps talking while I'm typing, so he can just
keep going.
Yes.
Yeah. He's professional.
Yes.
Professional what? I do not know.
Yeah. Okay. Alex.
Well, you going to tell the prize?
I don't know what the prize is because you haven't. Oh, there it is.
See, it involves reading.
Yeah.
Reading is fundamental.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Arm Tourette's.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Coinsandpins.com, the 1000 Finds Geo Achievement Set.
Ta-da! That's the coveted prize for the people that sent in. Shiny. It's got from coinsandpins.com. Aaron sent us a bunch of these, and it's got for 1,000 finds, really nice geocoin and a pin set. And this goes to
Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
Stageman 13.
Yeah, there you go. And Alex is from Lacrosse, Georgia. And thank you for sending in for that, Alex. Congratulations, and thank you to everybody else who sent in their findings. It was amazing. The comments were really cool. They've been really positive. They want to know when the next one's going to be for the next quiz. So we're going to try.
Yeah, they really seem to like that quiz.
They love the quiz, and so we're going to probably do it about every month, 6 weeks or so, kind of go that way, because that means a little less for me to try to have to figure out the questions all the time.
I believe that I'm running out of questions.
Yes. Because we'll sit there and we'll try to.
I don't know that much.
We'll try to figure out the quiz, and I'll just say to Amy, just pick something, pick a subject. Don't even think of the question. What do you want to talk about? Micros. Okay, then that gives me the seed to go and figure out what to do for the question. So that's how we do that.
Looks pretty good for me.
Yep. All right, we've got a very cool email that came in from Jerry, G-Man's son, and it says, congratulations, Amy and Andy, on your 100th episode. It's been fun watching the show evolve and grow over the years. Always fun and interesting. Here's to many more. Thank you, Jerry, for that. That's awesome. All right, good stuff. I'm going to have to move this real quick. I'm going to be doing stuff back and forth today, so if you want to watch, guys, on the board, this is what this looks like. Let's move on. Tonight's episode is brought to you in part by Cash-Advance.com for all your geocaching needs. Cash-Advance.com. Go find it. And also by
CoinsandPins.com, the best place to get custom coins, geocoins, lapel pins, and patches made. And I lost my place. Go through our GeoSnippits links and use promo code HeadHardHat for a 10% discount. And FYI for our listeners, you can sign up for their newsletter to get notified of when new coins and patches are available for sale. We're also very thankful to all of our sponsors, and if you want to see more of their products, be sure to go to our GeoSnippits websites and simply click on their logos. Not only do you get great deals, but it helps our program as well.
Absolutely, and it doesn't matter if you've done 50 episodes or whatever, live is live. All part of the fun. All right, let's move on to the fun. Yeehaw! Yip, yip, yip. Big 100 celebration show. GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast episode 100. Wow, this is awesome. I tell you, Dave, this is great being able to have you on. We talked with Dave during the pre-show about a whole bunch of the stuff, his travels and how things are going, and that's awesome. What I didn't get, Dave, is your why don't you do a shout out about your blog so people can get all those fantastic pictures and stuff from your geocaching adventures.
Alrighty. Yeah, I put a lot of my stuff on my blog, and the blog can be found at debaere.blogspot.com. That's DEBAERE.blogspot.com.
Awesome, fantastic. Yeah, Dave's you've been doing that blog for how many years now?
I started that blog, it's been like 8 years. It was before I was married. I think I've been married for 7 years now. My wife's in the chat room. She'll correct me if I'm wrong. So it's been 8.5, 9 years maybe.
Yeah, that's something, and it's awesome. Dave is quite the photographer, and he goes out, and he just got a new DSLR, which we found out, so I'm really going to be interested to see what some of the techniques that he does, because what he does with a point and shoot.
Oh, I know.
He has got some fantastic eye for that, and
thank you.
Yes, if you're into photography, be sure to check out that, and he even geocaches.
Indeed.
So it's just it's
on the side, you know.
It's like it made for each other. Wow, cool stuff. So you might be saying we're celebrating our 100th episode, and we're in the big triple digits, and I really, really was hoping we would make it this far, because if you watch the numbering system for the episodes, it always started with a 0, and it would be 001, and now it's got a 1 there.
Yeah,
and,
pretty cool stuff.
And it's cool to be able to say, wow, we are in the hundreds now.
So what are you going to do when you get to 1,000?
Still going to start.
I'm going to be doing. That's going to be a while. That'll probably be about 20 years, give or take. Because Stunning and Sandy's got 500, 400.
Yeah, they've been doing it how long?
And they've been doing it for 10 years. So might have a little way to go, but hey, it's a goal. It is a goal, and just we'll see. We'll see. It's just exciting to be at 100, and people. We're going to be going over memory lane, so why don't we go over kind of really quickly, why did we even start this?
I don't know why you started it.
You weren't even there.
I wasn't even born yet.
She wasn't even a figment of my imagination. And I'll leave that right there. But it was back then. Let's see. I started GeoSnippits Reboot or GeoSnippits videos back in 2008. And the idea was very simple. We wanted to do tutorial videos to help geocachers learn about geocaching. That was the whole premise.
Yes.
That, and a lot of people really liked it at the time.
Yeah.
And they said, more, give us more. And that's what we did. And me and Miss Gionis, a.k.a. the Muggler, we would go through and we'd do the best we could to come up with ideas to make these interesting videos for people. And then over time, it's like, okay, the media changed. Things kind of moved into different directions, and I kind of got into the Geocaching Podcast and found that podcasting is a lot of fun because we get to talk and not go out and get eaten up by mosquitoes and poison ivy and briars and all that fun stuff, and still be able to get out information to the world. And that's where the idea was to come up with a tutorial podcast. And it's like, I need somebody to talk with because nobody's going to just want to listen to me because I'm pretty boring. I'm just saying. So I need somebody. And
hey, you're nice.
You know, I have my moments, but other than that, I'm like, okay, who would be a really good person to do this with? And I meet this tall, good-looking Canadian in an Indiana Jones hat. And I think one of the first times we actually went out and did anything together was with, you can see the picture right up here, with the Helium the Alien, and that's when we went for Leaf.
Yeah, the cache that went into low Earth orbit.
Low Earth orbit, and that's where we first kind of really hooked up for the first time with that. And I'm like, he is really good. He's funny. He's charming. He's good looking.
Was that your first date?
And he's the most modest person in the whole world.
Stop.
So I asked Dave to hey, you want to give it a shot? Now,
He said, no, I'm married.
Actually, I was we just finished a geocache and went to this cafe to take a break, and he bought me a hot dog and a hot chocolate, and then he brought up the subject of the podcast.
It was the hot chocolate.
It was, really.
It happens every time. Yeah. and it was great because Dave had never done a podcast before, and he was a little nervous about it. And
nervous.
Yeah, and I would go through, and I never did my own podcast before. I was third banana at the time for Geocaching Podcast. So Daryl W4 was the one who was running everything, and Andy was there, and I just came in to show up and try to say silly stuff and make people laugh and go from there. I don't know where that came from, but that's how that worked. And so here we are, and we're on episode 1, and the show actually started on January 17th, 2013, with two guys hosting this thing, HHH and Debaere, and we've got a little segment for this. So let's see if this
He's
works.
got several segments, actually, Dave. So.
Well, this is just one here.
Okay.
That's if it does.
In a second.
Here we go. There it goes. All right, and there we are, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. My name is Andy HeadHardHat Smith. I am the creator and founder of the original GeoSnippet videos, but that's in the past. Now's in the now, and I want to introduce to you my co-host, my cohort in crime, my brother from another mother, Mr. Dave Debaere. Dave, say hi.
Hey guys, how's it going?
All right. So Dave, you ready? This is our first episode, number 1. And I'll tell you what, I'm a little nervous. I'm excited. As the chat room said, Nighthawk700 said, Andy, HeadHardHat, you're finally in control. And it's like, yes, I am. But then I realized I'm in control. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. And Dave, this is your first actual co-host of being on a podcast. How's it feel?
Nerve-wracking, but it should be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to it.
It really is. It's a lot of fun, and I'll tell you what, after probably about a month, we get a good 4 or 5 shows under our belt, we are going to be rocking right along. And, not that we don't mess up. It happens all the time. That's what happens when you do a live broadcast. But you know what? We're going to have fun. the geocachers out there and the people watching the show are going to learn a lot as well, and it's going to be a ride, and I'm glad everybody's along with us. Wow. First show, first episode. Holy
Crazy.
smokes, holy go.
You kept repeating yourself.
I was so nervous. You could hear in my voice
Yes.
how it was like. So yeah, it was
Uh-huh.
crazy. It really was, and you know, you live and learn, and it takes a while for not only just you as an individual to get used to being on the mic and in front of the camera, because we were doing the shows live, and to get comfortable with that, but to grow a rapport with each other. And it took, Dave and I were just getting used to knowing each other, and it started groove there, and it just started getting funny after that. It was fun. But that was episode 1. So, Dave, I'm sure people are curious with this. I know you only got about probably 10 more minutes, and I want to get as much in this with you as I can. What you been up to? Besides circuiting every podcast in several languages, I think.
Doing that. Traveling a fair bit, road trips and trips with work. I've been all over North America, which is always good fun. What else have I been doing? Blogging. I actually have. I'm working on a geocaching novel-ish type deal, which I did as part of the November National Novel Writing Month thing. Just to try it out, and I came up with something half decent. So I have a geocaching editor, or geocaching friend who's also an editor, so she's editing for me. So thanks to Luminescence in the UK for that. But hopefully that'll be on my blog sometime in the March-ish time frame.
That's awesome.
So yeah, lots of little stuff.
That's good. So going down memory lane, what's some of your favorite recaps as far as doing stuff with the shows and that?
Well, one of the first things that I remember is I recall that we got some feedback from a listener on like our second or third episode, and they used a term. And I remember you asked me exactly what that term meant, and I won't mention it for a reason that'll become clear in a second. And I gave you an answer that it was as far as I was concerned, it was a fairly
completely harmless
term. But apparently in the UK, it's a little bit of a unmentionable word and means something completely different. And something you don't repeat in front of your mother. And I remember, so we read that story on that feedback on the air, and there was no problem. And then I think like the next night, the guys at I think it was the geocaching UK Geocaching Podcast, kind of called us out on it because they're in the land of where this word is a bit naughty. And that was really the first time when I thought like wow, people are actually listening to the show.
Colin called us out and said, "Hey guys, guess what?"
Yeah.
Whoops. And so that was interesting. And actually the funny part is I think that actually started the rapport with Colin and Mark and some of the other ones through that, because they started talking about it between each other on the show at the time there, and plus with communicating with us. And I think that's actually when and you'll listen in one of the clips where we actually mentioned Mark and Colin and some other things too. And I think it literally was right at that time.
That's funny.
It gave us an opportunity to promote their show, and it gave them an opportunity to promote our show.
Yeah,
so it worked.
It's been really fun seeing a lot of the podcasts kind of develop that rapport amongst each other, and it's not just islands in the mist. It's the community feel I think is fantastic.
Absolutely, solid friendships. I mean, it's really bending into that, and we've been able to help each other. Either not just with the show type stuff with this, but even personally, where hey, what do you think about this, or hey, how do you feel about that, and just to be able to have that kind of friendship. Otherwise, we never would have had it. I mean, there's just no way. Not for people across the across the pond to do it.
Yeah, I mean that's really cool.
Wow. Yeah, so it was really good. Now the other one that we had that you mentioned on here was the debates.
Yes, the debates.
That was awesome. And we actually had a special guest. I can't remember if I think this was the first one. and I had started dating. We weren't married then.
Married.
Yeah, we were still dating at this point. It's like, we need a judge, we need a moderator, because this might come to blows, and you never know how a debate. It's like a hockey game. You just never know when something might come out. So we actually did this, and this was on September 5th on 2013 on episode 33, and let's give a listen to what that sounded like.
Just signing names on log sheets. It is about exploration. It is about the journey. It is about spending time with family and friends, or if you prefer, for us introverted types, spending time alone. It is about being in the world, not just rushing through it. Really, it's about finding objects using billion-dollar Tupperware hidden in the woods, or rather, billion-dollar military satellites finding Tupperware in the woods. And let's not forget that. That's pretty dang cool.
Wow, I'm impressed. All right, my side. From the dawn of time, it has been human nature to quantify oneself among the others in just about any activity created. Who has the most of, the greatest amount, the largest achievement, the best score. So it is no stretch of the imagination that geocaching would have a host of willing participants who love nothing more than to show their geocaching prowess in front of their other geocachers. What is one of the first questions asked when talking with a geocacher you've just met? Almost always, right after asking their geocaching name, is how long have you been geocaching, and how many geocaches have you found? It is this natural gauging or street cred of a geocacher that helps dictate how to relate to him or her in a conversation. It is these numbers that we utilize within the entire geocaching community. It is also these numbers that generate friendly competition. How many times have you tried to beat the total number of finds in a day, or continue a geocaching streak? It is the numbers, statistics, and overall bragging rights that compels many geocachers to go out into the wild each and every day. Without that urge to do better than the last would inevitably kill the game, sport, and obsession of geocaching. How's that? Moderator Amy.
Very nice.
Okay. Woohoo. Okay, so now what happens is I had,
moderator.
before the show, I had Amy just randomly put, what it is we have 3 key points each. 3 from me, 3 from Dave. So there'll be key point 1, key point 2, key point 3. And we're going to use these key points to further our argument in the debate.
All right, that's cool. That was interesting. Now, if you hadn't noticed, I believe I had it's all about the numbers side of it, and Dave had the quality over quantity.
Yep.
And that was an interesting. We had a lot of talk with that.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
It's one of those classic geocaching, things to discuss. Is it about the numbers or not?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. It really is, and it was a lot of fun. We actually did another debate too, and the response was great. It really was. We're gonna have to schedule a different one too, and come up with something interesting with that.
All right, I'll take you on.
Oh yeah, all right.
Take
You
on.
wish. You wish. Wow. What was some other memorable stuff for you, Dave? Well, we got you in the next couple minutes.
Yeah, I got to step out in a few minutes. The other things that really kind of struck me was meeting people in real life that kind of were introduced on the show. In the chat room, Taz427 just posted a shot of me and him. Let's assume it's him at Geo Woodstock at the preliminary registration event on the Friday when I went to Florida. So that was there. In Florida, I signed my first autograph on a T-shirt, which is kind of crazy. And Bible Man Rick actually, we knew him through a show, and he gave a lot of feedback to the show. I do recall, and we actually ended up meeting at coincidentally at a Waffle House type place in Georgia for going caching this year. It was just happened to be the closest place to my hotel, and I went over for breakfast, and he was sitting there with somebody else, and I forget your name. I think it's Kickin' Chicken.
Yes.
I got to actually meet with him, and we did a couple Where I Goes together, and stuff like that. It's really kind of it's weird in a way because I'm not the most social person, so it's kind of odd to kind of get introduced like that. But once I kind of get over my own little insecurities, it's really kind of amazing to have those connections, even though we've never actually met yet.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
You know the name, and you even know the log information that they put in, how they write, that kind of thing before you meet them.
And they say and they give their name, and you're going, oh yeah,
exactly.
I've seen your name. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
That's cool. And of course, you kind of got into Amy took over your position, which was head matron for the chat room.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do it justice, Dave. It's hard.
There were several times when I lost the track of, especially when we have like the set script things, like the ending of the show, or going through the sponsorship stuff, where I know exactly what's kind of being said, so I don't really have to respond with an intelligent answer. And I get lost in the chat room. Then all of a sudden I realize, oh crap, Andy's almost done. I got to figure out what he said.
I get this point with her because most of the people only know Amy from a 45-degree angle, and it'll get to that point, and it's like, hello.
He has had to pick me a couple of times.
Miss Amy, and it's, oh, what? Yes, good.
Like, oh, where's my spot?
Or we'll be talking. And I'll be going through this monologue. I'll be talking about whatever thing we're doing at the time, and all of a sudden she will just bust out laughing, like that. And care to share?
Oh, like, well, if you want me to, but it has nothing to do with what you're talking about.
And that's the whole thing. They're talking about deer jerky or something.
Well, deer jerky is very good.
Yes, it's very good.
Wow.
And it works with my brain because the way my mom thinks, it's like we could be talking about crockpot recipes, and then he's talking about geocaching, and I can keep up with him and this at the same time, and they'll come up with something crazy off the wall that's just hilarious, and I'll start laughing, and he says, want to share? I'm like, well, sure, but it's really off time.
Yeah, and that's when we find out about things like sauerkraut. I don't know. I'm just...
Oh, did we talk? We may have talked about sauerkraut.
I believe you have. So, Dave, we got you got to take off, and I totally understand. We love having you here, sir. This was awesome, and we're gonna have to have you on the show again, soon.
Absolutely, I am. This is just a weird night that schedule's built up, but we'll talk and schedule something, and I'd love to be do the full episodes with you guys again.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. Plus a debate because you're on, sir.
It's on.
All right, man. Well, you have a great one. Thank you so much for stopping on by, Dave. Thank you.
Thanks. Congrats on the 100.
Hey,
thank you. All right, guys. Let's move into the next thing. This was something that I found out. This is a segment out of the most viewed YouTube episode, because if you didn't know, if you're listening to our podcast on a regular basis, we have an entire video of the entire episode plus the pre-show that goes out every week as well, besides the podcast itself, the audio part of it. And this is episode 19 with Debaere, where we were talking, and this was on May 23rd, 2013. This was the night before Dave and I took off.
For the rest of the time, though, we are going to be doing the pre-show stuff. We're going to do some sound checks, which is going to be interesting because there won't be anybody out there except for the people out in the chat room to pick them up. But other than that, we're going to test to make sure everything's in place, because I always have that feeling something's wrong. I missed something, and I know I did. It's around somewhere. But that's all a part of the fun of doing a live show. We'll figure it out. It's a good thing.
I have questions about the soundboard.
Yeah, see, this is the other thing. Dave's actually starting to do some of the production stuff.
So if you
he's in charge of buttons and pushing things. And there's all sorts of, like, my soundboard, which might be a little intimidating by looking at it, because there's lots of switches
and buttons. I like pressing buttons.
And levers and lights flash up. Let's push the red button, because if you do stuff like this, let's see if this will actually do it. If I turn this up and then turn this up, then we got Actually, nothing. There we go. Here. You can turn that. Ah,
Echo.
we're in the echo. See, now we can do the WWFM 10, just
That's
like
how
some
it
does that. Some other person does that. Anyways, we're going to be meeting them Saturday as well. So yes, there are things that you can do with FX and all sorts of cool stuff if you play with the buttons. So good things. Just don't touch nothing. It's good, really good.
It's the finger pooping. So sound there?
Yeah,
Is that the intro
that's
sound?
the intro.
And then
the
these are all the
exit.
transitions after that.
And those are all the transitions during the show.
Okay.
We're talking about the card that goes on here. I use a iPad 2 that has a thing called IAC, which is basically a sound card where you can store all our sound effects. So go ahead and hit like air horn or something. So that way all our thank you. Now see the hard part with that is thank you. When you actually do the show and you have to do post-production, any sound effect or anybody who's an extra guest that comes in, I have to get that sound effect and then put it in with the actual tracks, because when we record, like right now we're actually using the big condenser mic, so if we sound a little different, we're not using our standard microphones, we're using a big condenser mic, so that way Dave and I can talk freely and not worry about not talking into the mic, because we're going to be turning it around a lot. But anyways, when I do post-production, I will go through and Dave records at his house, his half of the recording. I record my half of the recording, which is just our voice. And then we take that and I put it, and I do post-production editing, and I put them together and I clean them up so they sound really good, or as good as we can get. And then I also have to take all the soundtracks, so all the transitions, the start of the show, the end of the show. If somebody hits a different sound effect, I have to then take that and put it in. So if they want me to work more on this, that's what I've got to do.
So it's basically how much do I want to drive tomorrow?
Exactly. So it's all part of the fun. But that's what you learn about production stuff.
And there you go. The most watched, and the part that I didn't get in before he actually started, this was the night before Geo Woodstock 9. So Dave was in the studio with me, sitting just like we are here, and we had to literally get up in about 6 hours after we were done with all this to get on the road to drive to Florida to go do that.
Yes.
So that's how that worked.
And they were basically sitting like
just
this,
next to each other. It was funny.
squished.
So yeah, be sure to check out episode 19 if you want to go see that one. Now, the most listened to episode as a podcast by far was episode 55, and this was with wife Amy, and it was the Maker Madness episode where we talked with Eric from Groundspeak. And this was back in March 13th, 2014, and this was just before Amy and I had to take off for West Virginia Tim's Geo Trail. So let's give that a listen to.
Press play, honey.
It will.
I always forget to turn off. See, what happens is
I'm not talking. Where's that coming from?
We have so many different computers and monitors in the GeoSnippets studios that what happens is I've got a dual monitor set up so that we have our show notes that we go off of here as I point to stage right. And also we have a live monitor going for geosnippets.com, so that way we can see if we're streaming. We actually see the chat room, and for me here, and then Amy, of course, has the chat room going on over here. So as you hear her giggling as we're going through the show, it's because she's talking with all you fine folks watching the live feed. And
I get to do the fun stuff, and that's talk to you guys.
I talk at you, she talks with you.
Yes.
That's how it goes. So yeah, we got so much stuff.
Yeah.
We are literally we're about 12 hours before we hang out, and we're going to be taking off. We're going to be taking off to West Virginia.
Yes. West Virginia.
And Amy is this is the first time she's going to actually be in West Virginia. And this should
I'm going to be out of North Carolina, so I'm pretty good.
Yeah. So
I get out of town, so I'm pretty happy with that.
She's going to be getting her first geocache in Virginia.
Yep.
She's going to get her first geocache in West Virginia, and we are about that far from Maryland. So I think we might have to do a hop.
Oh, we're going to have to hit that.
Yeah, we're going to have to do a quick run over and hit Maryland for her, too.
Yeah.
So her geocaching experience is starting to broaden.
Yes.
It's very cool. We're going to have a great time. And we've got actually some behind-the-scenes stuff that I found out from Eric about West Virginia, because the person that we're going to go meet and talk to, we actually had him on the Geocaching Podcast about a month ago, is WV Tim. And Tim is one of those kind of guys that you can just, it's like your granddad. You just sit in the corner and he tells stories, and you just sit there going, wow, tell me more. And he's just that kind of a personality. He's very personable and just loves to talk. And
like you.
No, I gotta drag people to come listen to me. But it's really fun because he's such an intelligent individual. He's such a charismatic person, and he loves to talk about geocaching. And why do we have him on the show? I don't know. But it's great. So
he should have his own podcast.
He doesn't want to get into that. He wants to get into the other stuff.
Oh.
Now the cool thing is, WV Tim actually was a Geocacher of the Year. Is where a lot of people got to meet about him, and he's very much into what is known as gadget caches.
Oh, cool.
So it's one of those things where he's not an engineer, but he thinks like an engineer. And he's got all these, and we are going to go through and actually go through. He started an actual geotrail, so that's why you come to the pre-show. You learn all this background.
Did you learn
stuff.
all that stuff from Eric?
I learned some. I learned some background stuff that I don't think anybody knows.
How long have you known him, Eric?
What's that?
How long have you known him?
Who?
West Virginia Tim?
Yes.
I've known Tim, probably about 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
year and a half, 2 years. He was Geocacher of the Month, and then before that, he and I think just emailed a little bit because he's made some great geocaches.
Oh yeah.
I think some of his geocaches were Geocache of the Week on our blog, blog.geocaching.com, and people it's such a small world. Geocaching circles. Someone who's that good at what he does, definitely elevates and people can learn from him. So there's been buzz about West Virginia Tim for quite some time.
Yeah, that was something. That was a lot of fun. Good memories.
Yeah.
Good memories with that.
That
was
fun.
Awesome. And that was really good. We've got something kind of interesting here for you as well. Mark Downing, who is Banana Sauce from the OBEEP Geocaching Podcast over on the other side of the Great Pond, he has some words for us. I believe they're in English. Well, we're going to have to find out. Let's see what they say.
Hey up, Mr. and Mrs. HeadHardHat. This is Banana Sauce from the OBEEP Geocaching Podcast. Well, 100 episodes, eh? Congratulations on getting that far. I know it's been hard work for you. Rewarding, but hard work. Who'd have thought when a fresh-faced Triple H first appeared on Geocaching Podcast that eventually he'd go on to 100 episodes of his very own podcast, and then eventually to move on to producing the Geocaching Podcast. Anyway, congratulations. Oh, you might have noticed Dr. D isn't in this audio. That's because he's recorded his very own video for yourselves. All I can say is apologies in advance. Take care. Speak to you later.
He is not kidding. I think Dr. D, who is Mark's son, who is also co-host on OBEEP, I think it was in code or very confused or had too much hot chocolate. I'm not quite sure.
Uh-oh. I haven't heard this.
This is Dr. D.
Hello, and the HeadHardHat, I think it is. Congratulations on reaching 100 years old. Have a good 100 years old birthday thing stuff. Yeah. Congratulations and goodbye. I keep looking over to myself. I keep seeing myself on the screen. Goodbye. Congratulations and yeah. Bye.
Kids these days.
Oh my!
Yes. Thank you, Dr. D. That was
I know your heart was in
fascinating.
the right place.
Well, he actually did the video looking on his camera phone at himself, and he got so interested in seeing himself on the screen, it was distracting him. So, 100th birthday. Yes. I believe in Britain that is code for anniversary, I think.
I don't think so.
But it was a nice gesture. It's the thought that counts.
Yes.
So thank you
So,
to Mark Downing from and
thanks,
Dr.
Mark,
D from OBEEP.
and Sam. Thanks.
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it. And we'll go from there.
Turn the camera around next time, buddy.
Right. All right. Let's move on to the next here. Amy's first episode.
It said you got old real fast.
Real old. And
Yeah.
the gray in the
Ooh,
beard
man.
is giving it
Holy
away.
cow,
I'm
that
just
was
saying.
funny.
That is funny.
My first episode.
Episode 43 is the first one where she officially came on as a
All right,
co-host.
now my first episode, I was under the impression I was misled.
Misled?
Yes,
You started under false pretenses?
yes.
And why so?
I was told I just need a co-host until I can find somebody else.
Oh, that. See, she was trying to go through college, kind of like she was shooting for her master's at that time, or for her bachelor's at that time, I think.
Oh, really? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
at this
matter.
point.
She's in the same boat now, only going for her master's, so yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
So
50, 60 episodes later.
you can't quit. They love you. I said, they can love somebody else. No, no. I said, you did this on purpose.
Yes. And then you fine folks told Amy what?
You can't quit.
And she has been here ever since, and a willing prisoner, I hope. So let's give a listen to a
Let's
little
move
bit
on before she says something
before
else.
she says something else I'm going to regret. Here we go. This is episode 43, December 5th, 2013. And let's try that again.
Uh-huh.
It's trying to load. Oh, that wasn't good.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to have to add that into the podcast or something.
Uh-huh.
It is. It's trying to load.
It's karma.
It is karma. So that's how that goes.
Seriously, it won't play?
No, it's spinning its wheels up here. So let me do this. Before it actually tries some technical difficulties, I tell you. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit while this is trying to queue up.
Yes.
Why don't we talk a little bit about some of your favorite things that you've had over the because you actually have more episodes now than Dave does.
Yeah.
When he started.
Yeah.
And some of your favorite
actually,
ones.
and that's actually a good one. My one of my favorites is the West Virginia trip.
That was an amazingly fun trip.
That was very, very fun because Tim is just an amazing person.
Yeah, amazing all around. He literally is that personable where you just want to sit and just listen to this guy tell stories.
Yeah, and you can't help but like him.
Yes.
You can't. And his caches are amazing. The event was great, and it was just a great trip.
Yeah.
It really was.
Plus a little birthday surprise.
Yes. That was my birthday weekend. My birthday happened to be that weekend. And I said, when he said that we were going on this trip, I said, you know my birthday's that weekend. He said, yeah. But, we went. So he actually told Tim that was my birthday, and they got together and got a cake and had the entire group sing happy birthday, had this cake, and it was really a great surprise, and I was very, very humbled. It was very
yes,
good.
they actually went out of their way. Tim actually made a
It was
special
very good.
Gadget Cash
He did.
birthday cake.
Yes, he did.
Just for Amy for that. So that was
Very
awesome.
Cool. It was very cool.
That was awesome.
So.
All right, I am going to try one more time with this, and we will see if this actually works. If not, we will move on, and I will add this clip.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeehaw! Yep. I love that little transition. All right, tonight's episode. See, I get heckled in my own studio.
This is what I do when I watch the show.
Oh, wow. I wonder where all the heckling was coming from. No, that's how it goes.
Yes.
Professionalism, right out
the window.
All right, GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast, episode 43. Actually, it's our December mishmash.
When it stopped.
Couldn't load the file.
Couldn't load the file. All right, it's having technical difficulties, so I don't know why.
Of course, it's my clip.
It's your clip. Why would it do that?
Because it's my clip.
Let's try it one more time.
Yeehaw! Yep. I love that little transition. All right, tonight's episode. See, I get heckled in my own studio. Wow.
This is what I do when I watch the show.
Oh, wow. I wonder where all the heckling was coming from. No, that's how it goes.
Yes.
Professionalism, right out
the window.
All right, GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast, episode 43. Actually, it's our December mishmash episode. It would have been our November mishmash episode, but we got stuck eating too much turkey. So that's how that went. You know, tonight, for a lot of people, is really, really... there's a lot of people that have seen on YouTube that goes and has seen Amy through our vlog, and yes, we are going to pick back up on the vlogs again. We have a really good time with that because we get to go out and explore and really show us doing different.
Poor Andy. Urban Deuces, poor Andy.
Yeah, well, you know, that's all part of the fun. But a lot of people have seen Amy about the vlog, and again, she's got a bigger following than I do. But I thought for our viewers and for our listeners on the podcast that you'd be able to get just a little more information about Amy and how things are in the HeadHardHat household when it comes to geocaching.
Oh, I was going to say.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know.
There's a 17-year-old that lives here.
Yes, that is, and that's a whole different podcast we'll be starting soon. She's 17, going on 35. Yeah. So that's how that goes. Now we love Amanda.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you've seen a lot of the GeoSnippits videos out there, we're talking about Miss GeoNess, and yes, she's 17.
She's wonderful.
Yes. As they're gritting their teeth. That's how it goes.
I love her.
All right. But tonight we're going to talk about Amy because that's all part of it. So, Amy, I'll tell you what. Why don't you give us a little bit of idea as to how long you've been geocaching and some more information about you as a geocacher.
Okay. I've only been geocaching since I met you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's just a little over a year. So that's not a long time.
No, but you've actually got you got a rough guesstimate how many?
I have 54.
All right, not
Ish.
bad.
Pretty rough guesstimate. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean it's not too bad. And not all of them are LPCs either.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, we've
gotten some good ones.
Yes. So as far as things that go with there, what would you say are the most common type of geocache that you found there? What size?
Probably the little bison tube.
Okay, so the micros.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's good and again, you're going to see this is one of the reasons why I'm really excited about having Amy on the show, and I'm not just saying that because she's my wife. Is that this really is going to help reinforce the tutorial side of the show with pretty much everything we're going to talk about because Amy is so new with this.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's going to make it that much more enjoyable because it's going to bring back a lot of memories for a lot of people, including myself, that I go, really, I did that same thing when I was geocaching. So, yeah.
Yeah, living vicariously through you. Yeah, what amazing
size. Those little bison tubes.
The little bison tubes. They're cool.
Wow.
Amazing what a year takes, doesn't it?
Mm.
That's something. I got some more words in from our viewers, and
Scroll down just a little bit.
okay, and that's who that's from. Do you want to read it or me?
Go ahead.
Okay, it says, "Wow, I can't believe I listened to 100 of these, and all since about June or July 2014. Thank goodness for the archives. Favorite moments for me: Amy's FTF success story." That was just recent, too.
Yes.
The discussion of all the HeadHardHat thwackers that are in storage. It may or may not be up for grabs. Personally, I think this would be great prizes for people to be able to give to the live chat room during the 100th show. I think the thought of all you fine folks in a room somewhere with hundreds of those spun thwackers would have been fantastic.
Those things are going to be horrible to ship because they are huge.
Weird size. Matter of fact, I got one right here. This is a thwacker.
Yeah.
And it's.
So I mean, it's.
Yeah, it's a bizarre shape. As a matter of fact, I had to get specialty boxes to ship those way back when I did the Hard Hat.
It's kind of a weird size.
Yeah. So anyways, let's see. Just saying it won't be me. You record during bottle book bedtime for the little one. The discussion of turning Chris Moose into a travel book.
Yes!
I still think that this is a viable idea. Send him
too.
Send him via mail from patron to patron to see if he can visit every U.S. patron before heading over to Obeep's Mark in time to spend a British Christmas so he can wear a crown. If this is the plan, two things must happen for this from there at the end. One, he needs to take him a preemptive counterattack plans for a Texan invasion of the UK. Mark, you're listening, right? Shorty Knits must be at least one in the U.S. to get it, whether she is a patron and or not, and she has to address it to Dr. D.
Yes.
Long story, but that, certain affairs tend to have these
Perfume
kind of things.
sent on Chris Moose in that case would be optional depending on how far the geocaching podcast community at large, including you both, Scott, Mark, et al. Will want to take it.
Yes, and
I think perfume is completely.
I think that would be good.
Nice.
It keeps the moose smelling nice.
Yes.
Wondering what you're going to do when Amy reaches her 100th find, and therefore graduated out of the rookie geocacher class, and could be referenced as such anymore. Yeah, I can't call her a rookie no more.
No, you can't.
She's in triple digits now too, and a purely selfish one, winning the Path Tag Design Contest, and of course this is CJ Ricard. So yes. Good stuff. Thank you, CJ, for sending that in. All right. Well, that's that part of the show. I think that was amazingly cool. And
here's another one.
Oh, I'm sorry. We had one more.
We missed one. I think it's always a good idea to revisit geocaching etiquette. I know you've covered this, but with new people getting into the game all of the time, I think all of the time it's always relevant. This next one is a question that keeps coming up from time to time. If you had to rank states, countries as the best for geocaching, what categories would you use? Adventure caches, handicap accessible caches, best events, etc. Will Groundspeak ever update the Where I Go interface? Should Groundspeak allow for a process to have caches adopted if a geocacher is no longer in the game?
Oh, good suggestions. And those are all ones that we can bring up in future Mishmash episodes. I think that would be absolutely awesome. Well, folks, we really hope you enjoyed celebrating your 100th, or our 100th birthday in England, or English, and our 100th episode. It was a really great time. Now we're going to move on to the rest of the show and see if we can give away some really cool prizes to you fine folks. We hope you enjoyed it. This has been an amazing time for the 100th episode, and we are so glad that you are here to share it with us. All right, as I push the magic button here, let's move on. All right, it's time for the Geocaching Cache Dash. Man, 100 episodes. Can you believe it? Here's a GSRP, or a GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast fact just for you. The first Cache Dash was actually done in episode 3. It was a cache-advance.com Dr. B newbie kit. That's the first thing that we ever gave away for the Cache Dash. Episode 3.
I wasn't around for that.
You weren't?
No.
Wow. That's how things go.
I don't even know who Dr. B is.
It was BA before Amy. Yeah. All right, Miss Amy, if you would, let's tell about what happened with last week's episode. What question came up for that, and let's talk about the prize.
All right, the prize is from cache-advance.com, ironically enough. It's a couple of bolt caches.
Oh, yeah, these are wonderful. I love these. Basically, we have them two varieties. These are Evile, and I love them. One in the shiny bolt and another one in the rusty bolt categories. These are two tricky caches you're going to want to have added to your cache
collection.
Excellent stuff. Good stuff.
Yep. The question was, sitting quietly in the footer section of the geocaching.com's webpage is what animal?
Your favorite word.
Squirrel!
Yeah, that's right. If you look at the footer of geocaching.com, you will find a cute little squirrel sitting right there looking oh so cute and cuddly. And so that, for the people that had their answers in, that is really cool. Now, the way this works is, and I'm going to bring this over to camera 2, over here on our screen, we have all the people. Actually, I brought it up over here. I'm going to move it over here.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. We're going to bring it over here, and we have all the people that sent in the correct answer for episode 99. And what I have here is a random number generator that goes through and goes from 1 to the total number of correct people there.
I need to get rid of the thwacker.
Okay, you need to get rid of the thwacker. The reason why she needs to get rid of the thwacker is because she needs to get her magic geocoin, and she's going to, and that's also one of my favorite moments, just so that you know, when you lost the first coin.
Oh my gosh!
We still can't find it.
I didn't lose it. It is in this room somewhere.
It went to where ballpoint pens go because I pulled away all the desks. It's gone. I don't know where it rolled.
It's not gone. It's here.
It went to that magic place.
I'm gonna find that coin.
That was one of my favorite moments, is when she lost that. Anyways.
Uh-oh.
So we have replaced it with a Garmin geocoin, which is actually rather rare, so you really want to be careful with it.
Which I'm terrified to lose.
If she flips it and catches it, she's going to have either heads or tails. If it's heads, and whatever the random number is on this, we'll go from the top of the list down. So say, for example, it's number 4. We would go 1, 2, 3, 4 from the top, and that would be our winner. If it's from the tails and it's from the bottom of the list, we would go up 4, and that would be the winner. It just adds that little bit of randomness to the possibility of who can win and who does not. So, Miss Amy, are we going down from the top of the list or up from the bottom of the list?
It is heads.
Oh, easy one. All right, we have right there is our winner. Let's make sure they got the right answer. Squirrel. Oh, and guess who?
Oh, yeah.
Dano Pugach from Team Pugach. Dano, you win that really cool set of Evile bolt caches, and congratulations for winning that from cache-advance.com, and thank you, Lisa, for donating those those fantastic prizes. Good stuff. Now you might say to yourself, wait a minute, I want to win something. Doggone it, they've been doing 100 episodes. If you start thinking, the mind boggles how much in prizes we have given away over the past 2 years. We have given away a ton.
A couple of things.
Just a few here and there. And you're going to say, well, I went in on this action, and quite frankly, you can't win if you don't play, so why not? Go for it. All right, to do this, all you have to do to be eligible to win a prize from the Cache Stash is, one, send in a correct answer. That always helps. And you want to send it in for this week's episode, episode 100. You need to have it in by 12 noon Eastern Time on February 11th. That's next Wednesday, 2015. So get an email to GSReboot, that's GSREBOOT, at gmail.com, subject Q1, episode 100. And in there, give the correct answer, and we'll do a drawing just like you just saw, and we'll see who wins next week's question. Speaking of which, what is the prize for next week?
From cache-advance.com, it is Dr. B's Cache Repair Kit.
Dun, 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 dun. These are awesome. everything you need to do to repair a geocache, and this comes in this nice little pouch, little clip on here. This is fantastic, and it gives you everything you need to do for some nice quick repairs, because this was maintenance. The last couple of weeks we've been geocaching.
Oh my gosh.
We went through all the logs and baggies that
Yes.
I had in my pack. I got to refresh all that.
Yeah.
So that, because we replaced so many, we actually got to the point in one of them, we took, because I give away first aid kits as my swag, we took the label, which is a cardboard label that's about this long when you unfold it, that has a complete blank side to it. We turned that into a log so that people could sign the log, because 50 people wrote in there, the log's wet, can't write on it, nobody replaced it. Now you got something, all you got to do is win it. So again, thank you to cache-advance.com for donating that cool prize. What's the question for episode 100?
Who is Dr. B?
We got to ask Lisa.
Yeah. Anyway, that's not the question. Okay, sorry. The question is actually, what state does W.V. Tim currently live in?
This is kind of like who's in Grant's tomb.
Yes. What state does W.V. Tim currently live in?
All right, send your answers. Hopefully they'll be correct. I know it's difficult. To gsreboot@gmail.com, and we will do on episode 101 and see who wins that particular one. I don't think that one's pretty difficult for such a cool prize.
Don't either.
All right, good stuff. Let's move on. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much for helping us celebrate episode 100. It would not be the same without you, and we can't thank you enough for being with us to celebrate this momentous occasion for us to have 100 episodes of GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast and to have you part of our GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast universe. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for this. A couple of things real quick. One, please consider becoming a patron to help keeping us to the next 100 episodes of the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. Without you supporting our show, we can't. And it's literally, decide if you would to please support our show and join into our patron program, and for literally $1 a week. You can come through and help us keep this show a-rolling. And we thank the patrons that are already there, and we thank the ones that are considering and coming on hopefully very, very soon. Let's see, finally, tell other geocachers, especially newer geocachers that are just getting into geocaching, hey, this is really cool, fun show with a real funny lady and this guy. And they tell you about geocaching stuff, and it's really easy to understand and just neato. So tell others about the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast, and we would greatly, greatly appreciate that.
Want to thank our sponsors, cache-advance.com and coinsandpins.com. Want to thank Andy HeadHardHat Smith, and want to thank everyone watching and the chat room. Please keep those comments coming in, and we'll see y'all next time.
Absolutely. You know, there is one last thing we need to do.
What?
And it's not in the show notes. You know, this fantastic lady has been with us
oh my God, you're making me so nervous.
And we appreciate, and I say every week, how much I appreciate you being on the show with us. With the help, and this goes back all the way to Rome, Georgia, with Bible Man Rick. Now, I've been hanging on to this all this time.
Oh, my gosh.
Bible Man Rick said, Amy likes geocoins, doesn't she? And I said,
what did you guys do?
Yes, she does. And so with Bible Man Rick, we would like to present to you this geocoin. You love the butterflies.
Yes.
Check it out. And it is a cat, or a, go ahead and open it up. It's a Cache Advance butterfly, and if you show the kind audience this particular one opens up.
Oh my gosh.
And they're gorgeous. You can actually get these at cache-advance.com. Well, thank you, our sponsors. But it's a beautiful butterfly, and Bible Man Rick picked this out for you. And I thought this would be an excellent time to show the back, too. The back's even pretty. So for your 100th commencement to add to your collection of GeoCoins.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sweetheart, so much for everything that you do. All right, guys, good stuff. Great show. Glad you were here. We've got some special stuff coming up in upcoming shows. We're going to be going over the new advanced search features for geocaching.com. We're going to be doing more geocaching health information coming your way. And then finally, and I know this is a month away, but we are going to have the guys from GeoWoodstock 13 coming on the show. And this is important now for you to consider. If you haven't heard, you're going to hear now. They are trying to make GeoWoodstock 13 a giga. So it is very, very important as soon as you can. If you are planning on going to GeoWoodstock 13, put in your will attends. They have to get a certain amount of will attends before GeoWoodstock will be allowed to go giga status from Groundspeak. So that's the word we're getting out. They are going to be on Geocaching Podcast in the next couple of weeks. They're going to be on GeoSnippits Reboot in another month, and we're going to get you up into this. And so please, if you're planning on going to GeoWoodstock 13, please put in your will attends, individuals for each person that's going. They're trying to get giga status, and they're not going to be able to get it unless you help. So we're trying to get the word out as much as possible.
And what is giga?
Okay, a giga event, you know how a mega event is when you have 500 people or more. I believe it's 500 if I get my numbers.
I think a giga is 1,000, right?
1,000 or 5,000, one of the two. I gotta get the numbers. It's been so long. There's never been a giga in the United States. There's only been giga in Europe, and we're trying to get the first giga in the United States. So put your will attends in. We'll have more details coming on both the shows, Geocaching Podcast and GeoSnippits Reboot.
I think it's 1,000.
And we will go from there. I think it's 5,000. We'll have to see. Let's see what we can do, because I'm pretty sure it's 5,000. We'll go from there. So anyways, thank you so much. I know the show ran a little long, but we appreciate it, and we appreciate you. We will see you next week on the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
5,000, okay.
Thursdays. Right. See ya out on the trails, folks. Bye-bye. Please be sure to join us each and every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for another episode of the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast, right here on the GeoSnippits website at www.geosnippits.com. The video version of the show is available on YouTube, and the audio version is available on iTunes, Stitcher, Blueberry, the Tech Podcast Network, and many of your favorite podcatchers. We love hearing from our viewers and listeners, so please leave your feedback by emailing us at gsreboot@gmail.com. Visit us through our social media sites or contact us via our voicemail line at 919-341-9519 or use our website Send Voicemail tab. The GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast is a HeadHardHat production and is produced by Amy and Andy Smith. This show is copyright 2015 by Andrew T. Smith. All rights reserved. And clear. Woo! Hokey smokes, Bill. What a fun show.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. So, yeah, thank you, folks. Thank you so much for stopping on by. We hope to see you for the next 100. By all means, please bring all other geocachers you know to come and join in on the fun. We greatly appreciate it, and it just makes it that much more fun for everybody. You guys have a great week. I'm going to get a big relief because we finally got to here, and I can take a deep breath, even with the slight technical difficulty. Whew.
It was my thing.
I'll tell you, that's how it goes. Have a great week. Be safe. We'll see you next week on the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. Bye-bye, folks.